Hello students. Now today we are going to start the next subtopic of your RC couple amplifier. That means analysis of RC couple amplifier in low frequency range. So in our previous videos we have seen the RC couple amplifier circuit diagram, circuit description, RC couple amplifier definition. Okay, here resistor is the load, capacitor is the coupling element, and that's why we are calling as RC couple amplifier. Then we went for circuit description. Okay, in circuit description we said that resistor R1, R2, Re is nothing but the biasing and stabilization network, whereas C is emitter bypass capacitor, which will allow the high frequencies to pass through it. Then we went for this input capacitor C1. Input capacitor C1 is nothing but which will isolates the DC from the AC input. Then we went for this coupling capacitor C, which will couple the first stage with the second stage. Then we went for coupling capacitor is also known as blocking capacitor, because it will block DC and it will pass only AC. Okay. Then we went for this circuit description. After circuit description we went for operation of circuit diagram. In operation we said that AC input is applied to the base terminal of the transistor, whereas after amplify, this AC input will amplify in the collector circuit. Okay, after amplification it will pass to the next stage through the coupling capacitor C, where it further amplifies and reappears across the load resistance RL. Then after the operation is over, we went for our next operation type, that is nothing but frequency response curve. Frequency response curve means the curve representing the variation of gain with the frequency. Okay, variation of gain with frequency is known as frequency response curve. Then we went for division of frequency response curve. It is divided into three different forms: mid frequency, low frequency, high frequency. So low frequencies are from 0 to 50 hertz. Mid frequency is from 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and above mid frequency it is having above 20 kilohertz is nothing but mid frequency, high frequencies. Then we went for what are the operations going on for high frequency, at low frequency, high frequency and mid frequency. First we wrote about low frequencies. In low frequency, because of two components, emitter bypass capacitor and coupling capacitor C, the gain will decrease, okay, as the frequencies are going to increase. Okay, means the gain will reduce, okay, in low frequency range because of two components. Okay, one is, you have to remember this, because of two components in low frequency, gain is affecting. One is emitter bypass capacitor and one is coupling capacitor, because in analysis we will use this concept. Okay, remember this. Then in mid frequency, what is happening in mid frequency, as the frequencies are increasing, reactance of a coupling capacitor decreases, which will increase the gain, but it simultaneously increases the loading of the first stage, okay, which will decrease the gain again. So increase decrease, what is happening, output will remain constant at low frequencies. Then next we went for high frequency range. In high frequency range, what we said that because of the shunt capacitor which is across the output, connected across the output, the frequency will decrease, the gain will reduce. Okay, in high frequency range the gain is getting reduced because of the shunt capacitor which is connected across the output. Okay, this we have learned in frequency response curve. Then in my previous video I have analyzed the voltage gain in mid frequency range. So what I have done, first I have drawn the circuit of equivalent circuit of our transistor. Then after that I have solved voltage gain in mid frequency means output divided by input. Then I have solved the equation, because output we should take from RL, but before RL in mid frequency who is disturbing, that is HIE. So we have made HIE and RL in combined together, and we have given that a new name, effective load resistance. Then we have calculated the output across ZL equation we got. After getting equation of ZL, we went for final output. Output is nothing but V naught, V equal to IR formula. Then after getting IR formula, next we went for VI. In VI we got that means VI is nothing but the voltage which is a measure across the output. After getting output by input, we have solved the voltage gain formula. Then finally we got the equation for voltage gain in mid frequency range. Okay, now today we are going to study about voltage gain in low frequency range. Okay, so for calculating the voltage gain in low frequency range, again we have to draw the diagram equivalent circuit. Okay, same equivalent circuit you should remember. Okay, now we will be drawing the equivalent circuit of low frequency range with the help of, in low frequency range, what I said you, who will be affected, two components will be affected. Because of two components low frequency will be affected. One component is emitter bypass capacitor and one is coupling capacitor. So in this circuit, equivalent circuit, we will not draw emitter bypass capacitor, we will neglect. Okay, but we have to draw coupling capacitor compulsory in the equivalent circuit of low frequency range. Voltage gain in low frequency range, in equivalent circuit we have to draw compulsory coupling capacitor. Okay, then after drawing the circuit diagram, we have to calculate the again voltage gain in low frequency range, output divided by input. So now we will calculate the voltage gain in low frequency range. Now see, you can see the diagram of voltage gain in low frequency range. Okay, so in this diagram what you have observed, this is HIE is same, HFE and IB is also same, RL is same. There in mid frequency we have drawn what? We have drawn HIE, but here HIE is also there, then capacitor is also there, coupling capacitor C is also there, I2, okay, and I2. Okay, now what is our main task? To calculate AVL is equals to output by input. Now we should calculate the voltage gain in low frequency range. To calculate voltage gain in low frequency range, it is easy to calculate, but first you have to calculate output voltage, then you have to calculate input voltage. That is your main task. Okay, so for calculating the output voltage and input voltage, what is your main task now? Okay, what is your main task? You have to see for load resistance, but before resistance, after resistor, HI is there, I2 is there, C is there. So many things are disturbing for calculating the output. Actually output we should calculate across load resistance. Okay, fine. But here so many things are disturbing us. You can see in the diagram itself. Okay, here it is getting disturbed with HI and C mainly. Okay, so what we will do? Yesterday we have made HI and RL 1. Now today we will make HI, RL and C into one equivalent. So here yesterday we have reduced RL and HI into one total resistance, that is ZL. Today also we will reduce RL, HI and capacitor into one equivalent impedance. Why we are telling it as effective load impedance? Yesterday we called in previous video we called it as ZL means what? Effective load resistance. But Why I have called resistance? Because it is a combination of two resistors. But now today I have to call it as it will be a combination of capacitor and two resistors RL and HI. So compulsory I have to call it as effective load impedance. Okay. So I will be calling it as effective load impedance and I will make it then 1 so that I can calculate the outputs. 1 by ZL into 1 by RL plus both are parallel minus. Okay, why I am putting here minus? Because before going to this HIE, now you see HIE and C is combined together, so we should make them 1. So what I will do, 1 by HIE minus J by omega C. What is J by omega C? It is nothing but the capacitor value, reactance. I have combined both of them, C and HIE. Okay, both are in series, but with these two combination, this is in parallel. Okay, now I will write RL plus. Now what you can do here? Now you have to take it cross multiplication. Okay, cross multiplication. RL plus HI minus J by omega C. RL into HI minus J by omega C. Okay, now you have to write in cross multiplication form. Okay, after cross multiplication, now I need what? ZL only. So I will put here 1 by whole RL plus HIE minus, this is minus, J omega C by RL into HIE minus J by omega C. Okay, now what will happen? This will come up. So finally what I will get? ZL value. ZL equal to RL into C here. HIE minus J by omega C by RL plus HIE minus J by omega C minus J by omega C. Okay. Now this is our equation for ZL, which is equation 1 as per low frequency we are keeping, or you can give it as last equation what we have stopped, where we have stopped yesterday, 3, 4, like it will be a fifth equation for example, or you can give it as 1 also, no problem. Okay, then ZL value is ready. Now before ZL, this is okay, ZL value what we got now, RL into HIE minus J omega C by RL plus HIE minus J omega C. Okay, equation 1. I have given as equation 1 for low frequency, but you can give yesterday which equation we have stopped, that equation you can give. Okay, yesterday. So now next, after this you should observe this I2. I2 is also like disturbing us. I2 value also we have to reduce. So what we will tell? Potential difference. Now ZL is ready. Okay, ZL is ready now. Now I will solve for I2. Okay, ZL value just now we got. Now we should calculate for ZL value. We will keep here RL into minus J by omega C by RL plus HIE minus J by omega C. This is ZL value. We will keep here. Now we should get what value? We should get who is disturbing here again? I2. So what we will tell? Potential difference across I2 will be equal to potential difference across ZL. Okay? Total ZL. I2 and HIE. Potential difference across I2 and HIE is equals to this C. I2 is in between C and HIE. So potential difference across C and HIE is into with I2. and potential difference of ZL. Potential means what? Voltage. Voltage formula will be what? V equal to IR formula. So what I will tell? Potential difference across C and HI is equals to potential difference across ZL. So what I should write here? I should write potential difference. I2 will be equal to IR. R is 2. Instead of R, HI is R. Okay, V equal to IR formula I am writing. Potential difference across I2 is equals to ZL. Potential difference of HI and C is equals to total potential difference across impedance. Okay, load impedance. So what will be? HFE IV into ZL. Okay, this will be the V equal to IR formula for us. For voltage across HI and C is equal to voltage across total effective load impedance. Okay. Now from this I will take out I2 value. I2 equal to IV into ZL by HIE minus j omega C. This is equation next. Equation 2. Now I2 value is ready. ZL value is also ready. I will write here aside. I2 equal to HFE IB into ZL by HIE minus j omega C. Okay, these two equations are ready. Now we can calculate what? Output divided by input directly. Now you can calculate the outputs. Okay, now we will calculate what? We will calculate, now we can calculate easily output. Okay, so output voltage will be what? Across this V naught equal to total I2, V equal to IR formula. Okay, V naught equal to minus I2 dot ZL. In ZL all this thing will come. Effective load impedance. Minus why? Because current direction is coming down. Okay, it is coming in this way. So it is minus. So minus I2 into HIE. Okay, HIE. No, minus I2 into HIE. Yes, minus I2 into HIE usually. Because not ZL, HIE input resistance. Now what is I2? Minus HFE IB by HIE minus j omega C into ZL. ZL value is what? Into HIE. What is ZL value? Just now we got RL HIE minus j by omega C by RL plus HIE minus j by omega C. Okay. Now I got this. Okay. What is I2 value? This, and this value is this. So now what we will do? We will cut it. Output voltage, whatever we will get. But what I am doing now, I am not substituting any value in this. What I am doing, simply I will write minus I2 by HIE. Okay. This is equation 3. Then VI value I will write. VI is nothing but HIE into IB. Equation 4. Now AVL is equals to what? Output by input. What is output? I2 by HIE by HIE into IB. Okay. Now what we will do? We will substitute I2 value here. HIE cancel. Now I will substitute I2 value. What is I2? HFE IB by HIE j omega C into ZL is RL into HIE minus j by omega C by HIE RL plus HIE minus j by omega C. Okay. Now I have substituted I2 value and this. Now last will be what? Into IB. IB cancel. Okay. IB cancel, and what you will can, and what else you can cancel from here? You can cancel from here. Okay, minus is it. Okay. I2 is minus. Here also you should minus. Okay. Then HIE, this cancel. Okay, then finally AVL value, what you will get after cutting this? Okay, step by step you can go, it is easy only, don't worry about that. Finally AVL you will get, see here all of you, AVL is equals to minus HFE RL, okay, minus HFE RL by, finally you should write the value of this HIE plus RL, okay, HIE plus RL minus j omega c into, okay, RL minus HFE into RL by HIE minus j omega c. This is what, this value you got for your AVL after cutting everything. Okay, now AVL equation is minus HFE RL by HIE plus RL into minus j omega c. Okay, this is the equation for what? This is nothing but the equation for your voltage gain in low frequency range. But in the waveform you can see here it is like F1. This part also you should calculate what is this F1, and for high frequency you should calculate what is F2. For that purpose, and low frequency joined with mid frequency. So in equation also you should write mid frequency formula. You have to include it. Okay. So what we will do now simply, okay, mid frequency, for making it in mid frequency we will tell it as dividing the above equation with whole equation with HIE and RL. It will become HFE RL by HIE plus RL. This one I am dividing, then this also I am doing. HIE plus RL by HIE plus RL minus j by omega c HIE plus RL. Okay, I am dividing. After that what will happen? This will become watts? Question mark. This will become AVM. Okay, this will become AVM. This whole part will become AVM. AVL is equals to AVM by 1 minus j by omega c by 1 HIE plus RL. So this is the equation of your AVL. Okay, AVL, that is by using the equation. Okay, previous equation. This is nothing but AVL. Mid frequency range also we should include. This total equation is AVL. I have written. Then simply you make it mod. AVL mod is equals to AVL. Okay. Then when you are making it mod, it will become plus, minus will go and it will become plus, and here we can write what? Here we can write, here j omega will be down it will come, omega c will be down. So omega can be written as what? 2 pi f. Okay, I can write 2 pi f, 2 pi fc into HIE plus RL. Okay, so by this we got the mod equation. Okay, now instead of f I should make it f1, because cutoff frequency is what? f1 and f2. So instead of this I will write f1, or instead of this I will write AVL in this equation. We have to talk about F1. F1 is nothing but lower half power frequency or lower cutoff frequency. or lower half power frequency F1, which is defined as magnitude of lower frequency falls to 1 by root 2 of mid frequency. So what we will do, instead of this AVL, I will write AVM by 2. AVM by 2 means how you will write here? AVM by 2 root 2 mod, and instead of F I will write here F1. Instead of F I will write F1. So AVM by 1 plus 2 pi F1 C HIE plus R. This is your final equation of low frequency range. Okay. Now when it is here, when you are doing it mod, it will become square also. I forgot. When you are doing it mod, it will down part will become square also. Okay. So what is happening here? It will become square also. Okay. Because it is mod. Okay. So this is your final equation of low frequency range. That means at low frequency range the voltage gain is given in this form. Okay. AVM by root 2 equal to AVM by 1 plus 2 pi F1 C and HIE plus RL. Okay. So by this we have completed our next part of our important part of our analysis, that is voltage gain in low frequency range. Okay. Now in next class I will be calculating the voltage gain in high frequency range. Okay.